Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villa and welcome to episode 133 of Raise the Holte, our bid for world domination with Aston Villa, and this is the final episode, which is a little bit sad. I had intended to do sort of this sort of fast forwarding to the future in one go, but when I saw how long it was going to be, I decided to split it into two. So what we are now is we are 10 years in the future. If you want to see my team of the series and then sort of up until this point, sort of 5 years in the future and how the team got on, go back to last episode 132 in the playlist, and you can catch up on all that information there. But let's get on with life here. Let's see how things are going in the year 2037. Okay, we are now 10 years after we left the club. Jurgen Klopp is now the manager. There has been a change. Rodrigo is still there. Chris Hughes is still there as well. So that's good to see. Looks like we've still been okay in the league, although maybe not quite as good as previously. Let's go and have a look. General information. Has anything else changed? We still have the same. We've dropped. Actually, it looks like we've lost a few legends there. Chris Hughes has dropped off. Icons. Let's see. Zidane's gone in there. It's weird that Chris Hughes would no longer be an icon. Gaz Mosley is now an icon, Chris Hughes has dropped off. What's he done to ruin his legacy? We can see there Silla, Nepo, a few of the other guys there have become icons as well. Fiorini is now a favoured personnel, as is Mr. Klopp. Let's have a look. Facilities. We are still in the George Ramsay Arena, and nothing much has changed on that front. All right, let's go and have a look at the players. Who's still at the club? Gaz Mosley. Still at the club, still going strong, 142 cap. We're going to have to do another couple of years here, aren't we, to see what happens. Look at that, 465 appearances, league appearances for Aston Villa. Well done, Gaz Mosley, and counting. Let's not forget, and counting. Rodrigo is still here as well. He's 34 now, and he doesn't tell you what, he's still a very, very good central defender. So he's going to have spent his whole career here more or less as well, give or take 15 games. And he's just goes from strength to strength. Casey Beck is still here, 10 years on. He's only 29. He's only 29. He's played 250 odd games. He could maybe not go on to break a record, but he's still got some time to go. And how many England caps for Casey Beck? 87 England caps and 1 goal now for Casey Beck. Who else is still here? Pedro Enrique is still here as well, 32. Still looks the money. So he's spent a lot of his career here now as well. Look at that. And just does a really, really good job. Anybody else that is still here? We were at Enrique. Fiorini and Chris Hughes are both still here as well. So Fiorini now 33. He hasn't lost much of his pace either. He's still got time left in those legs. Look at that. Look at that. What a career he's had at Aston Villa. And Chris Hughes... Now, if he's continued his goal scoring as sort of the 140 caps, 102 goals, excellent stuff, and he's just been banging them in for fun, hasn't he? No, obviously not all of those 211 goals are going to be at Aston Villa, but a fair chunk of them are, and he may be pushing records as well. So that's everybody that's still at the club. There's no one in the under 23s sitting down there. I would have thought we would have moved people on. All right, so what we'll do is we're going to have a quick look now at everybody, all the guys named after you, and see what became of them. Let's quickly go to transfer history and see when people were moved out. We'll just quickly go and have a look at release players. I apologise if this episode goes a bit long, but I think everybody wants to see this. So where did we leave off? That was the year we left off, wasn't it? So this is the first year. All transfers. Did anybody leave this year? No, it doesn't look like they did. Anybody in the next year? Kosic left for Wolves. Oh, you traitorous bastard. So there's Kosic, 33. How's he been doing since he left? Yeah, he's done okay. He's done okay. Nothing special there. Anybody else here? Doesn't look like it. Next season. Gary Turpie went to Everton. That's considering, that's the other save that we do. Maybe that's a little bit of karma there. But 75 caps and 3 goals. Still only 28. So he had another couple of years at Villa, but he's definitely been more of a first-team player at Everton. So that's maybe a good move for his career. But a very, very good player nonetheless. So that was Gary Turpie. Rashid went to Bayer Leverkusen. He's 35 now, 180 caps. Yeah, he did kind of fall out of favour, didn't he? And then we can see there he's had a couple of good years at Bayern as well. Anybody else? Rodrigo left to go back to Brazil. He's 36. His legs are gone pretty much, haven't they? But yeah, I mean, he was a good player for us. Let's make no bones about that. Next season, I'm trying to think who else has left that hasn't left as of yet. Nepo went to Lyon. Let's have a look at him. 33 now. Couple of years there. He was second to Casey Beck, wasn't he? Good old Nepo. So that's fair enough. And that. Is there maybe one more? I feel like there's one more name that we're missing here. Alpha Silla. He went to Zenit St. Petersburg for $7 million. He's 34 years old now. Legs are gone. 107 caps he ended up with. Only just left Villa for this past season, or even more recently than that, perhaps. But yeah, really, really good player he was too, wasn't he? Look at that number of seasons that he played for us. And so that is going to be that. All right, let's go and have a look at manager history. What happened to Zidane? Zidane just quit like we did. Thomas Tuchel came in and got sacked, and then Klopp has come in since then. Let's have a look at how competitions have gone. Domestic leagues. Yeah, it fell away a little bit. It looks like we won one more than we had a little bit. That's probably the Thomas Tuchel year. And then we've come back and we've won another Premier League. So look at the last 10 years, or since a little bit more than that, that's the 4 that we won, so 14 years, we have been absolutely dominant. We've won at least half the leagues there, it looks like. So what a time to be alive that would be. All right, let's have a look at Champions League. Did we win any more? No, we've lost semi-finals, and quarterfinals. We didn't play in the Europa League. We did have 1 year in the Europa League. We lost the final to Liverpool. FA Cups. We won one FA Cup against Manchester City under Klopp this past year. So this past year's been a good one. AFL Cup. No, we didn't really do anything in that either at all, really. So that is that. Now, last couple of things to look at here. Let's go and have a look at records. We don't have any of the permanent records yet, but we're getting close, aren't we? Let's have a look at player, top goal scorer. Look at Chris Hughes. Absolute domination. Sander Poot. Looks like he won one there. And fans player of the year. It's Hughes or it's Poot. Look at Chris Hughes. How is he not a legend of the club with that love like that from the fans? I did check, for the sake of time here, we'll kind of skip over it, but I did check, what's it called? The player of the year, the FIFA World Player of the Year. We didn't win anything of that. None of our boys won that. So let's go and have a look here. Let's see how Harry Thomas got on towards the end of his career. Harry Thomas now managing Exeter City. Let's have a look at his playing career. Can we do that, please? Game, there we go. So a couple more years he had at Forest Green. Called it a day, but he's manager now. So let's have a look at that. He has just had the one job for 99 days. So he's done okay, 40 win percent, 45%, which is fine. So there you go, Harry. Illustrious managerial career upcoming for you. Let's check David Bergkamp. Still going at Southampton, 31, 12 England caps now, moving on to Hoffenheim. Obviously he's had a decent time of things at Southampton. Maybe didn't play that many games last time, but England caps still, so good to see for David Bergkamp. Let's check Lee Hendry. So Lee Hendry still at MLS. He's now American. He's been capped for the Americans. So obviously got nationalized there. 21 caps for them. But he's had a good career in MLS by looks of things there. But yeah, bet Lee Hendry did not expect to be an American international when this started out. Next up, let's check Brian Carlos. So Brian, currently a free agent. Never got his England cap at 34. It doesn't look like it's going to happen now. Spent some time at Blackburn. In the Super League and Melbourne Victory. Why would you go there, mate? Have some self-respect. I'm actually wearing my Sydney FC shirt. So there we go. Brian just never really kicked on. I really had high hopes for him when he came through. But just never really kicked on. Now he's got some staff attributes there. Maybe a manager of the future. We'll have to check on that. So let's check Nick Roberts now. So Nick Roberts apparently changed his name to Liam McLaughlin. He retired at the age of 33. Spent some time at Copenhagen. But yeah, didn't really. I mean, it's just confusing that it changed the name back. So there we go. Yeah, I thought he was. Shane, he retired at 33. Maybe there was an injury in there somewhere. Next up, let's check Paul Walker. Still going, 33 at Mainz. Solid enough attributes there. Still didn't get the England cap though. But his time at Borussia Mönchengladbach came to an end. A solid player in the Bundesliga for them, and he's off to Mainz now. So hopefully a few more years solidly in top football for him. We're coming to the end here. I think it's Gary Turby. No, we did Gary Turby, so it would be Blake Scully. So still at Bournemouth, doesn't have the England cap as of yet. But again, we did get some chances in the Premier League, and he had some good years in the Premier League as well. Must have been close to an England call-up at some point there, as I would imagine. But there we go. So what we'll do is we will skip ahead a few more years now. Let's see if we can break some records. So appearances and goals. Gaz has got to be close to appearances. And I tell you what, Chris Hughes must be getting close on goals as well. And here we are, 15 years after we left the club. It's the year 2042, and look who captain and vice-captain are. Gaz Mosley and Chris Hughes are still at the club. I can't go forward any longer. It takes so long to sim. I'm running out of time before we get these episodes out. But that is absolutely incredible. Let's go and see if there's anybody else still at the club. We can see there's been a change of manager as well in Alex Tellez. Well, let's see. Casey Beck is still there as well. 34 years old now. Transfer list, it doesn't look as though he is going to play much longer. But let's have a quick look at the three that we know are left. But Gaz Mosley, 187 caps for England, 37. It looks like he's leaving for New York City FC. But look at that. Will we go check the legends and that in just a second? But he's got to be. Is that a club record as well? 626 appearances. Must be pushing the record as well. But what a player Gaz Mosley has been. An Aston Villa legend. Casey Beck, 134 caps for England he has, with 2 goals. And again, an absolute... Spent his entire career essentially at the club. He's not ready to retire yet, I would imagine, at 34. But 374 appearances for him. And the other one here is Chris Hughes. Now, he was not obviously a regen named after you guys. He is retiring, so this is his career. I tell you what, he's still got it though, doesn't he? Physically, he's lost a lot. He's 36. You'd expect that. 190 games for England, 135 goals. I tell you what, that's the best £70 million Villa will ever spend, isn't it? 262 goals in his career. A few of those were for Southampton before we nicked him. 565 appearances. He's like the Villa Alan Shearer, isn't he? In some ways. But there we go. So 3 players stayed all the way to the very end. Now let's go and have a look at. Let's do the club first. So let's have a look at managers. Now what happened? We did have Klopp in charge last time we checked. He retired from management. And it looks like things went a little bit wrong after that. Antonio Conte came in for not even a year. He was sacked. Kolo Touré came in as caretaker. Not bad. He's still assistant at Villa now. Brendan Rodgers came in. Lasted slightly longer than Conte, got sacked. Kolo Touré came back in again. And it looks like we now have Alex Tellez as the new manager. I'm going to guess, based off of that, things haven't gone quite so well of recent times. Let's have a look at the league here. Last 5 years, second, 6th, and 5th and 6th. So no, it hasn't gone to plan the last 5 years. So that's because our squad basically left, wasn't it? Let's have a look at Champions League. Did we do anything in the Champions League? Lost in the quarterfinals. Oh, we lost a final to Real Madrid, and then 2 semi-finals to Paris and Bayern. So close to another title. Let's have a look at Europa League. It looks like we won the Europa League. This year just gone, we won the Europa League, beating Wolves in the final. We did lose to Bayer Leverkusen in the final the year before that. We've also lost to Liverpool in a final. So pretty dominant in Europa League. FA Cups, did we do anything last 5 years? No, we lost a final to Manchester City, and that was pretty much it. 3rd and 4th rounds after that. And EFL Cup, we've won one EFL Cup, and we've lost two fourth round ties there. Apparently we just won in the EFL Cup other years there. So that's that. Let's go and have a look now at records. Because I have a sneaking suspicion we may have a few record holders here. Chris Hughes, look at that. Only just recently as he dropped off the top. And Fans Player of the Year. Fiorini is still there. Now, when did he leave? He's retired just recently. He played 429 caps. We'll go back and have a look at the players that were still there in just a second. So no more Fans Player of the Year. But overall records. Chris Hughes is the most goals scored by an Aston Villa player in the league, 235. And Gaz Mosley, you are the record appearance holder for Aston Villa. That is absolutely insane. Who would have thought when the young Gaz Mosley came through the academy that he would end up being an absolute legend of the club? Any other records there? Tammy Abraham's 4 goals still stands. You'd think someone may have done a little bit better than that. Messi is still the oldest goal scorer. Gary Turpie is still the youngest goal scorer. That was almost, same season, if not same game. So there we go. Let's go and have a look now at is it general that we want? Yeah. Who are the legends? I'm still a legend. Go on, son. That is it. Zidane is an icon. Anybody else here? Grealish. I'm shocked. Shocked and amazed that Gaz Mosley isn't a legend. He is there as an icon, though, as is Fiorini, Rodrigo, Marin, other Rodrigo, Rashid, Nepo, Silla, and Enrique, and Casey Back is a favoured personnel. So let's go and have a look at the transfers now. Last 5 years, not that one. And let's see who left the club when. Was it this year that we left off, or was it this year that we left off? It would be this year, wouldn't it? So there's no one there. Oh, Alpha Silla left for Senate. Now, did we know that? I can't remember if we knew that or not. Alpha Silla's now retired, though. Retired at 36, and what a career he had. Stunning young player that we signed. Anybody else here? Let's go to the next season. See who is left of our squad. Did anybody leave here? It doesn't look like they did. Next season on here. Anybody? No. So Enrique is still there as far as we know, and there's one or two others that skip. Oh, and Fiorini, but we know that he retired. Rodrigo, defender Rodrigo, left for Crystal Palace. He's now retired at 39. He played 84 times. So he left, and what a career he had for us as well. Look at that. That's 20 years, is it? Or near enough. 18 years he gave us. Couple of years with Palace before he hung up his boots. But yeah, he was a really good player for us, wasn't he? So that's another one that's gone. Enrique was still there, wasn't he? I'm sure there was a couple of others that were still there when we left off last time. What we might need to do is go and check released players, perhaps. There's Pedro Enrique. He left on a free transfer for China. Still going strong at 37, 114 caps, 32 goals. Yeah, he was a really good player as well. Another good signing that we made. 14 million we paid for that guy, and we got a lot more worth than that out of him, didn't we? So that's Pedro Enrique. Is there anybody else here? I should probably check release players as well, shouldn't I? And just see if anybody left under the radar being released or retired. Not there. Fiorini, so he retired effectively or was released a few seasons back, but we saw what he had done already, and I think that just about covers everybody then, doesn't it? Yeah, because that's where we left off. So there we go. Now, what else do we want to check here? Let's check the facilities. Are we still in the George Ramsay Arena? Yes, we are. And that all looks good there. We've checked the managers, we've checked the facilities, we've checked player of the season. Now we just want to check a few of the players that we could have left off with and see what happened to you. Now we know what happened to Gaz. Let's check where Harry Thomas and his managerial career has taken him. So here is Harry Thomas. He's an assistant manager, unemployed just now. He was manager of Exeter last time we saw, wasn't he? Now where do we check managerial careers here? Milestones. Manager of Exeter. Assistant manager, yeah, so he's a manager of Exeter. Sacked, didn't really do too much, it looks like. There's got to be a better way to see this. Where's the, you can't do career managerial stats? Maybe not. All right, but anyway, there we go. We can see Harry Thomas there. Next on my list here is David Bergkamp. So at 36, David Bergkamp is still going strong. 13 caps for England. I think that's a few extra from last time. He is at Freiburg in Germany. He looks like he's just become a bit of a German player. Spent a year at Dynamo Kiev in there as well. But there we go. That's David Bergkamp. We can't do any more, but there we go. 36 years of age, still going strong. But yeah, maybe another couple of years left of his career. Next on my list here, we saw Casey Back. So it would be Lee Hendry, American international, if I remember correctly. Lee Hendry. So Lee Hendry is currently assistant... No, is he manager of the American national team? No, he's just unemployed, isn't he? On a free transfer. So that's how his managerial stuff looks. His career... He finished up he just went to DC United basically after us. A year on loan at Swansea, a year at Fiorentina, then just became a bit of I would imagine he'd be close to a DC United legend, would he not? We'll indulge ourselves here in just a second. Lee Hendry. No, that surprises me. I don't see him there unless I'm blind. But I don't think I am. So that does surprise me. Spent a lot of time there. So yeah, that's Lee... Oh, too far. That's Lee Hendry's career. Next up, we have Brian Carlos. Brian has now retired. His nickname has gone, but this is the boy. After Stokes and Blackburn, went to Greece, Melbourne Victory, and Adelaide. Retired. It doesn't look as though he had any England caps. No, a couple of youth caps, but that is it. So there we go. That is how Brian Carlos's career ended up. Let's check in on Paul Walker. Unfortunately, Paul Walker's character appears to have retired and just been wiped from the game. I can't find him anywhere. So we'll check on Gary Turpie at 33. He's still going. 129 caps for England, Gary. Five goals as well. Now at Sheffield United. Let's have a quick look here. Last time we saw he had moved to Everton. He looks like he's done quite well at Everton. And then got another move still in the Premier League. So excellent stuff. As I say, unfortunately, we just don't have time to go and see how he goes on from here. But at 33, maybe still a little bit of time. Is he still in the England squad? At 33, conceivably he could be. No. So England career may be at an end. But there we go. Excellent career by Gary. And as I said, still going on. So excellent stuff from him. And finally, it's Blake Scully. So Blake Scully has also retired. He's unemployed head of youth development. Let's have a look, see how his career ended up. He was at Bournemouth last we saw. He did get a move to Sheffield United for some more Premier League football. He's had a decent career, 183 goals, 500 appearances. Yeah, I mean, he did his best work at Bournemouth, unfortunately for us, didn't he? I always liked him as a left-sided player, though. Maybe I was under not giving him sort of his full value there. But it looks like he spent a year in Turkey as well, which is good to see, expanding his horizons. But that is that. Now, I think the last thing we'll do, just as a little bit of fun, let's go and have a look and see what the Premier League looks like as we end the series. Now, there is going to be a replacement series for this that I'm planning on having it sort of out tomorrow for that. Look at Villa. We 12th that last year. Luckily, they won the Europa League, so they'll get back into Europe. But City, United, Arsenal, West Ham's up there. Brentford had a year in the Premier League. We'll go and see look at that. Manchester City has absolutely started to wipe the floor. They've taken over us from where we left off and absolutely, ruled the roost. Is there anything in the Championship worth of note? Any big clubs there? I don't see Manchester United. Did I not see Manchester United there? Have Manchester United been relegated? No, surely not. Let's go back up. Oh, no, they're second. Everybody relax. They're still there. Yeah, so there we go. That is it for this episode. That is it for this series, guys. There is going to be a replacement series. I plan on debuting that tomorrow being Sunday, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, let me know what you think. Hopefully the guys that had regens named after you, I hope you're happy with how your careers turned out. I apologise to Gaz, Casey, Gary, and anybody else whose career is still going. I just don't have time to stim it any further ahead. So hopefully you understand that. But guys, that's it. Thank you so much for watching the series. It means so much. You've got all the way to the end. You deserve a trophy, to be honest. But yeah, like I say, there will be a new series. And hopefully we'll see you again if none of the other new series or the series I have appeal to you. Hopefully we'll see you back for FM20. And I don't really know what we're going to do yet. But I'll have a news channel update coming up at the end of this month. And I'll be asking for ideas in that. So until next time, guys, whether it be a new series or FM20, I've been Aussie Villain. Thank you so much for getting to the end. Take care.